There we
Good
go.
idea.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So, how's everyone doing today?
Acceptable.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of homework.
I did a bunch of snow shoveling, so my back
Statistics
is
calculations
feeling,
for days.
Oh my.
I
Wow.
brushed a
Time
floofy cat.
tomorrow.
Yes.
I brushed a floofy cat. That's what I did today.
Yeah. We're cat sitting for a friend who is having surgery.
Finished.
Recovering from surgery. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is weird.
How did?
Oh. There was a restaurant actually here called the Foolish Chicken. Their roast chicken, they use Dr. Pepper as part of the glazing. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very tasty. They made the perfect little cornmeal poppers, like cornbread poppers. That was great. Best cheesecake I ever had, and unfortunately, they closed this last year.
Yeah.
Killed by the pandemic?
Probably. Also, probably the rent because they moved.
Oh yeah. Well, and also like when a business moves, there are bound to be people who just, like the old clientele might not be able to make it. It takes a while to get new clientele, and you also have people who like they see the empty building and they don't bother to go up and read the sign, saying we have moved to X.
Every year, I was like, I want to go to the Foolish Chicken for my birthday. And every year, something would come up. This year, it's like, yeah, we can actually do it because my wife has a car.
Yep.
The pandemic is gone.
Yep.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
Same with the Cat Cafe. There was a Cat Cafe that I helped fund on Kickstarter. I was planning on going this year. It closed last week.
Yeah. Oh.
That's always the way it is. I can finally make it. Nope.
Yep.
You have to have Castor make a cafe.
But who would run it?
Yeah. I once came up with the idea with a coffee shop mixed with a comic book store. Not a sponsor.
That is a great title though. One of those things where like it
has two meanings.
It does. It does.
Nice. Nice. All right. So let's get things started. Apparently they can't hear your audio, Rezo. Yep.
Oh.
Say something. Yep, they can't hear you.
I bet they can now.
Testing.
Hello.
Yep, it works.
Yay!
All right. Yay for the moderators.
Yeah.
Okay. So our player Val cannot make it due to slight medical issues. Nothing too serious, but yeah, she's taking the night off. So we will continue to say that she's running the shop.
She's got a business to upkeep.
Yeah.
Someone's got to bring in the money. Cash keeps spending it.
Well, that and Yukari sometimes like runs off with free snacks too. So yeah.
And Yukari has, all of her gaming gear.
Yeah,
she needs to buy the latest titles.
Yes, yes.
She's probably got a custom built PC.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be getting that at all of that stuff at the shrine shop, but yeah.
But she's still spending money, and she has to get the money from somewhere.
Yep, this is true.
Bruna's a little more self-sufficient that way. She likes snacks. She's not particularly picky about where she gets them from.
Yeah, it's like,
As we saw last week.
yeah, it's like why should I bother buying it? There's a perfectly good dumpster out there. Yes, and all
Worst
of the
comes to
fox.
worst, I can cut off a branch from a tree and eat that.
Impressive.
Okay, then.
Do not try this at home, kids.
No, definitely not.
Willow sticks, not a sponsor.
All right. So, where do you want to start off?
We had two things potentially to look at. One possibly more significant than the other. We had the night hunt or whatever it was called. The
Night parade.
night parade. Yes, that was the one thing to
yeah.
investigate. And the other was the bully,
Yakiyako.
Lunk.
The one
But
was what?
The bully, Lunk.
Lunk.
Ah, yes, Lunk.
Lunk
Right.
is
Oh,
his
yes.
buddy Femur.
Yes, I should open up the cast of characters. There we go.
Well, we might also want to check in on, depending on how long it's been since the whole situation with Kenshi-kun. Like if it's just the next day or if it's been a week or something.
Well, how much time do you want to have pass?
We didn't have any signs of the Hyakiyako being active because the pages that they were in were taken out of the book hundreds of years ago. So unless we get some whisperings about stirrings of yokai, we can probably assume that they're not here right now.
Fair bet.
The other thing is
Which means that the primary plot threads that we would be following up on would be Kenshi learning how to control his abilities, Kampo the Tanuki talking about what Shiori had discussed about Ninaki with him, and potentially dealing with the whole, Anmyo hat thing, the courtier's hat, and trying to figure out what exactly that means, because it means something. We don't know what yet. And then, of course, as was mentioned, there is potentially looking into this Lunk character. And Shiori does have the ban of returning cruelties, so she might decide to terrorize this kid a little bit, depending on how she's feeling.
I mean, Castor's up for some terrorizing.
Yeah. I mean, and Yukari could probably be easily persuaded to help out with this too. I mean, not like she doesn't have a little bit of a vengeful streak. Can't be I don't think you could be I don't think you could be a gamer on any sort of PvP server without that.
Lord knows how many times I've rage quit in World v World.
Oh.
So, on the way to whatever destination you're going to have in store, Yukari sees something on the sidewalk.
Oh. Now let's see. Would this be walking? Yeah, probably yes. Seeing something on the sidewalk from a bus would be like, well, oh, too late. Yeah. Okay, so
it's a Playtendo game card.
Oh, interesting. So, well, definitely pick that up.
Is it a Twitch cartridge or is it a 4DS?
It's a Twitch cartridge.
What game is it? I mean, Shiori won't know, but Yukari probably will.
Yes.
It has a toy gate on it,
Ooh, interesting.
Ah,
but no name.
No, okay, no name, but it's possible that if I plug it in, I might be able to see if there are like saved games or something. Or no, saved games would be on the game system, not on the cartridge.
True.
Right, yes. Well, definitely curious about that.
No, I'm not going to go there.
okay.
Okay, so you're plugging it in to take a look?
Do I do that right on the street? You know what? Yeah, sure. Find a bench, sit down.
Is she carrying a Twitch?
Probably.
Yeah. It does strike me as the kind of thing she would do.
Especially because you can stream from it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
interesting.
last week we were talking about the new Twitch Pro was coming out, and she was trying to decide whether she could save up enough money for it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sit down on the bench, you plug it in.
Mhm.
The game system, of course, turns on. You see kind of spooky colors. The toy gate rises up. Then it flashes through a number of strange images.
Oh dear. All right, so
Like you see like a little garden of flowers, and all the flowers start to wilt. You see like ripples across a pond. You see like some animal laying on its side and the buzzing of flies.
oh, so very The Ring kind of vibes here, huh?
Something like that.
Oh. Huh. Let me guess. When all of this is done, I get like a text an intergame text message ping going 7 days.
No, actually, you do
No?
get a ping though that says 7 saves.
7 saves.
Huh. This is on the one hand, this is sounding very much like the only winning move is not to play. On the other hand,
You can talk to it.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, on the other hand, there's also a bit of a that certainly can be interpreted as a challenge, can't it? Yes, but yes, definitely talking to the object. It's like, okay, so
What's your deal?
yeah. What are you? Where did you come from?
The save cartridge
Mhm.
says, I was made by a psychic.
I see. And where is that psychic now?
In the Discord for you, Kit.
No, the psychic is not in the Discord.
That would be scary.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Okay, now I must check this.
I remember hearing that rumor.
Hmm.
So, okay.
Yeah, my first
Oh.
guess was Jumanji-esque. My second guess was Ben Drowned-esque.
Oh, that's a creepypasta I have not heard of, and I'll have to check it out later.
It's an old one.
So,
My guess is an anime that I watched in 2012.
So the game respawns, I don't know, but she impressed her psyche on me.
Oh dear. So the 7 saves message, what does that mean?
It kind of pauses and says, do you really want me to tell you?
Yes.
Okay. You can undo 7 mistakes. then she comes for you.
Uh-huh. Interesting. What happens if I successfully get to the end of the game?
This has nothing to do with playing the game.
What? You mean there
Shiori
isn't a
hearing
game?
this conversation?
Well,
She will intervene on your behalf 7 times to undo a mistake that you've made. On the 7th time, you're hers. I love
Not-
the face.
yeah, just
Now I'm getting Life is Strange vibes.
Not far off. I've never played that, though.
Mhm.
It is a roller coaster and a half.
Oh,
Be
yeah, so
warned.
I've heard.
Oh yeah, I've played a little bit of that, and it sounded actually really, really fascinating. But right now, I'm sort of caught up in a different game.
Not a sponsor.
Yes. Yeah, and then for quite a long time before that, I just was not in any kind of video gaming headspace. But obviously, this is player, player, not the character. Quite the opposite.
Okay, so back in game.
Yes. I do not like that kind of loan sharking at all. Is there actually a game on here or no?
Oh, yes.
But the game has nothing to do with this purse?
It does.
Interesting.
So playing the game won't do anything, but the curse on the game is related to the game, the specific game that it is.
Yes.
Interesting.
Also, is Shiori getting any vibes off of this thing, or is it just Yukari's domain right now?
It's technically haunted.
Yeah, I am gonna be definitely bringing it back to the shrine to talk to the rest of the den about it, though, because yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so right now we're assuming that it's like the next day and we're not all sitting around watching Yukari with this cartridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going about your lives, doing what it is you do. Like you're looking into the Robin Hood myth and trying to expand on it in Japan, in Tokyo.
Right.
Shiori is trying to keep people out of meddling with ghostly stuff, like what Yukari's just doing
And
right
maybe
now.
figuring out where Lunk is in case she decides to pay him a
Yeah.
visit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Castor is
Shiori
bathing in
preventing
the
people
sun.
from doing what Yukari is doing, but wrong. Yukari knows what she is doing, as in she knows how to not. She knows how to recognize when something is Shiori's priority and not hers.
Yeah, there
Ish.
is that. Ish. Ish.
All right. So Yukari comes back to the shrine grounds.
Yeah.
Is Shiori there at the moment?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm laying in the sun someplace, so I'm there.
Yeah. On top of the Torii gate, just kind of
That
Sounds
would
like
be cute.
Bryn is not currently at the shrine because she's out doing her Robin Hood story stuff thing.
Bryn has been invited to a library to read some of the Robin Hood stories to the children there.
Oh,
Alright.
cool.
Fair enough. But she won't be too far away.
No. A
Yeah.
couple of blocks
And I'm
away.
pretty sure Bryn has a cell phone, so.
She does.
Okay, yeah. So yes.
With that, I'll be back in a moment.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh no. Invasion of the puppy. 1 second. I need to move the food out of the way.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. If other people are AFK, I'm gonna take just one moment. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, this is funny. Hiking tip. Remember, if you get lost in the woods, stay where you are because we don't like you. Please don't come back. Just kidding. It actually increases your chances of being found.
It does.
It does, yes. But I love
It
that
does.
sign.
So you said that's food?
No, I had to move the food so that she wouldn't try to scarf it
Nom 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 nom.
because she absolutely would.
So while we're waiting for everybody else, have you had a chance to look at puppy? Yes, puppy fading in and out of existence. Puppy.
Have I
So-
had a chance to look at?
The powers that I've written up.
I don't think that I've particularly skimmed through them because I'm happy with the abilities I took, but I'll take a look at them when we next do level up.
Mhm.
That's good girl, Poppy.
I'll probably do the same.
Go. She just smacked me in the neck with her paw.
It's like, stop manhandling me.
Okay, yes.
That's not bad,
There we go. I
All
had
right,
I
you
had
want
some
down now, Poppy?
cute.
Good girl.
I had some very specific sensory interference there. That was so I was like, okay, I'll just take care of that. So I'm less distracted. Ha
What was that?
ha ha.
Okay, so yes, Yukari is showing up with her Playtendo Twitch and the accursed game.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking, do not do the thing where it's like, yeah, it showed me this. Here you go. Now you're cursed too.
Hey, look at this cool game I found that's haunted.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah. Yes. So let's see. Shiori is older sister, right? I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Shiori is first sister and Yukari is second sister.
Right.
I'm
Older
your
sister.
Fox.
And I'm your cousin Castor.
Yes. He's the kitty.
Yes, younger sister?
I found something that is partly my department and partly your department.
Sister,
yes.
I've been cursed again. Again.
Yeah. So I'll basically explain what explain what happened, but within the least technical way I can.
So it's offering to undo mistakes.
Yes, and it sounds like it's not going to bother asking for my consent about that.
So you can't just say no.
Mm.
The game clarifies. Oh, you can say no.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
Since you're the one who has to decide it's a mistake.
Mm.
I see.
Imagine saying, no, you made a mistake. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Switch.
And
Okay.
it's a conscious decision to label it a mistake, not a subconscious decision that it's a mistake that causes it.
Yeah.
You have to like this is a mistake that needs fixing is what has to happen for it to activate.
Castor leans
Yeah.
down from the
Okay,
torii
I
gate
see.
with his paw
Mhm.
and kind of makes a come here gesture. It's like, give it to me.
Mhm.
Cats never make mistakes.
Oh, really, Pastor? Because I've sometimes seen you do that thing where you where you try to leap onto a surface and then you like fall down in this very goofy looking tangle of limbs.
Well, that's
But
totally what
course-
we were planning on.
Aha.
Like those memes where you see the cat and there's all these like mathematical equations and stuff that get more and more complex.
and then the cat gets this expression like, I meant to do that. I planned very, very carefully just for that effect. Yep.
Yeah, when that leap goes 2 inches and then to the floor.
Yeah.
No, the only time a cat makes a mistake when they nap when they should have eaten, or when they eat when they should have napped. They regret their decision. They should have done both at the same time.
Right.
Also, I don't think it would latch onto you unless I showed you the unless I plugged the game in and showed it to you, and I don't want to do that.
It's still plugged in.
But she hasn't shown it to me.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's already running, so it's not showing you the introduction.
Okay.
At the moment, all it is like you see the Torii Gate, you see a shrine ground which you don't recognize, and there's a little girl which is the main character. That's it.
Yeah, and I can always also I can always tuck the Switch into my purse, or school bag, whatever, satchel. Yeah, she probably has like a school satchel or something.
Mhm.
Well, Caster will jump down off the Torii Gate, land perfectly. 9.8.
No, should I make you make a skill check?
He's like, he's like, I only goofed like that because you made me overthink it.
No, Caster's going to do this thing that cats do where they run down a vertical surface and just run down the pole and just land perfectly. And you're like, how did you do that? It's like, gravity. Gravity works differently for cats, always.
Gravity, my ancient foe.
Is darkness your old friend?
Yep.
Say hello to it all the time.
You've gone to talk to it again.
And we're stopping there.
Yes, because copyright issues.
Not a sponsor.
What isn't
Also
a
not a
copyright
sponsor.
issue is impressing the darkness.
Or attacking
True.
the darkness.
Yes.
Well, I'm specifically referencing something that Zed did in a game several years ago that was just hilarious.
All right. So you see the accursed game.
Oh yeah.
Am I getting any vibes of this game cartridge belongs to somebody who's dead?
It's connected to somebody who's dead. Belong to them? Not necessarily. On the thinnest of technicalities.
You guys can see like Caster's paws on the ground. The claws come out and go back in and come out and go back in, like he's massaging the ground. He wants to scratch.
Needing.
Are you saying they need to scratch?
No, KNEAD. That's the motion that is being
Yes.
described.
He was making a play on words. I'm a storyteller, I would know.
You know, if you give that game to me, I'll give you a coin for it.
Sorry, he said, if you give the game to me, I'll give you a coin for it.
What are you going to do with it, Caster?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't think Caster, I don't think she already knows about this particular ban of Casters, so she's like, what are you trying to do with it? Because she knows he's up to something, but she has no idea.
Oh,
what.
right. Right. that urge to claw the possessions of the dead. Yeah, which neither of us know about. So yeah, Yukari is also confused. And it's kind of like,
and like, where is Caster getting a coin from? Since when has Caster been interested in money?
I I mean, thank you, but I still don't think that's a good idea. Also, I am really curious about the game that's attached to it. I can't help but think that that's going to give us that could give us some clues.
Hmm. It sounds like we have another mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think we might need transportation and
Two?
snacks.
To
Well,
where?
I mean, snacks. We always need snacks.
Perhaps an old van.
Are you making a pop culture reference?
Never.
Beat me to it.
We need a dog and a
No.
guy with a scraggly beard.
Yuri doesn't like dogs.
These are the
No.
Yeah,
I think with all of us, I think with all of us being well, foxes and one cat, like, yeah, none of our characters would like dogs. unlike some of the players.
Bryn is fine with dogs.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not a thing for the European foxes.
Oh,
Until they
okay.
hear a bugle and the baying of hounds.
That's a good chase game.
Yes. And this is the game where I lead you on a merry chase.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
The men, the hounds, the horses went flying back to town, and hard on their heels comes the little black fox,
Yes,
laughing
Heatherdale
as
is
she ran.
Heatherdale is also not a sponsor, though many of us are fans. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Yukari is also kind of like, I'm really curious about this game, you guys. I'm gonna go and play it.
This machine is such a mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Fiori's like, and you're certain that playing the actual game itself won't harm you? That's what it told you?
The spirit of the cartridge doesn't seem to be on the dead psychic side. And
Oh no.
it seemed to think that it seemed to think that playing the game was not a specific part of the curse.
But if you load a save,
Unrelated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the
yes.
the 7 saves was in real life.
okay.
Yeah, see, this game has autosave. Could you imagine what happens if it autosaves 7 times?
Damn it! Yeah.
No, what it actually is it has 7 saves files for 7 characters, and every time somebody fulfills the seven saves, it sucks somebody in, and they become a save file.
Ooh.
And then once it gets to 7, then the psychic will be resurrected.
Interesting. But although that wasn't that was apparently not where this was originally going. So yeah.
Yes, but I can allow that.
Oh boy.
I mean, if Caster just like diagnosed the nature of this curse.
Remember, the players are allowed to give their input into what's happening in the scene, eh?
That's true.
And you're allowed to challenge one another too, right?
Yeah. I want to challenge that. That is not the thing. No.
Yeah. I mean that being said, however, like yeah, this is Yukari is probably like, as far as the game part of it goes, I think the only way out is through, so I'm totally playing this game. So yeah. Yes, and assuming that it is a nice enough day. I mean, after all, she was sitting on a bench earlier playing this. You're like, yeah, sure, yep. So I'll sit down on one of the benches on the shrine grounds and pop out and take out the game and start going through it.
I'll look at
Okay,
Shiori and say,
if
I'll
Yukari
take first
thinks
watch.
that it's safe,
Oh.
Shiori will watch over her shoulder as she plays. If not, Shiori will demand that Yukari take meticulous notes about any symbolism at all.
Okay.
And the plot.
Screenshots.
Meticulous notes.
Screenshots, yes. Anyway,
Only get
yeah.
7.
Okay. Sorry.
7 screenshots, yes. All right. So we're going to pan over to Bryn for a little bit.
Sure.
Okay. So yes, you've had some people come in to listen to the storytelling as you translate classic Robin Hood stories to Japanese.
Mhm.
Oh, my little kitty decided to cold wet nose my fingertips. Hi, Belady.
Aw. Cute.
Do we get 2 fuzzies on the stream?
No, because I'd have to roll out my chair to pick him up, and I don't want to freak him out or hurt him.
Aw. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, here we go. No, he's just volunteered.
Oh.
Yay!
Oh, hello, my big boy.
Yes.
Aw,
Oh, yes. Yes.
lap kitty.
Yeah. Hey, Belady.
Yep.
Belady has a first name.
Or OBYN.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
there he is. Yes.
yes. So, Bryn, like I said, you have a decent get together. They're enjoying the stories as you tell them. So, what are you doing afterwards?
So if there are people there that seem like they are interested in the story because it hits a personal note with them and they want to talk about it, Bryn will entertain that.
Okay.
If that's not the case, then Bryn will look up information about the Lucky Sand from what's available in the library and try and just generally get an idea if there are people that in the community that have a close connection with an experience involving the Lucky Sand.
Okay. So, since this is your scene, is there anybody that feels a strong connection to the stories?
Yeah. So there will be somebody who feels a strong connection to the story, and they are not in trouble at this point in time, but they think there might be something going on.
Okay.
So Bryn will quietly and carefully, so as not to arouse any suspicion around anybody else about that anything might be amiss. She will just talk to this young, let's say it's a 13-year-old boy who's going to school, probably in the same school that Detective Conan goes to.
Ninaki-kun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that he's got an older brother who's got into some kind of trouble.
Okay. So which character does this person identify with?
The person who is here, or the person who's in trouble?
The person who is here.
The person who is here. He probably identifies with Little John.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Okay. So good-natured, positive outlook, strong as an ox.
Yeah. Yep. He's on a local sports team. Probably is involved with martial arts to some degree, and not necessarily from I'm winning all the competitions point of view, but I'm trying to keep in shape and I'm trying to be able to defend myself.
Judo club.
Okay.
Congratulations, you've just described Lunk.
No, because Lunk is not friendly and cheerful and helpful.
But you see, people who are usually in trouble will usually lash out, so it could be Lunk.
It could be Lunk's younger brother.
Ooh, I like that.
There
I
we
will
go.
allow that, in
Yes.
fact.
Yes, he sees his younger brother as the sheriff of Nottingham, or his older brother.
Interesting. All right. So, you finish up. You have a nice conversation with this person. Get some information so that you can touch base later, exchange phone numbers, that kind of thing. So,
let's get a name and put him on the cast of characters.
Go ahead.
Okay. We already have a Kenshi, right? Okay. So probably.
So would have the same name, Takayama, for surname.
Yeah.
Okay. Takayama's the surname.
Yep.
Then let's pick Shiro.
Castle.
Got it.
Okay. So, you make it back to the shrine after this. The group has been, together talking about this game thing. Yukari's just sitting down to play it. Something seems a little off. So, now that you're all together, you're standing under a torii gate. The road ahead is made out of packed earth. It's got stone lines on either side. And you can see what looks like a classic late 1700s to mid 1800s Japanese village.
And this is in the game, or she's seeing this with her own eyes?
Yes. And not only her.
Which one?
All of
us.
Oh.
No, not which person, which of the scenarios I described.
Oh.
So is it feeling to me like a sort of overlay of like the game to real life to real life, or is it sort of a I blink and look around and then it's like
it feels a little bit of both. It feels like you're playing the game, but somehow you've been immersed into it. Almost kind of like a glamour.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. This is very reminiscent of Fox Illusions. You have the material component which creates the illusion, and because it has material component, the illusion is real.
Yeah, and as someone who has illusion, Shiori probably recognizes this feeling.
Yeah.
As does Bryn.
Yep. Glamour and fox magic being
the same thing.
Yeah. At the very least,
usually the same thing.
Extremely similar. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yes, it is overcast. It looks like it is evening. The moon is a bit too big. It's that cinematic, giant moon type thing.
Yukari, what's going on? I just got back to the shrine and now something glamorous has happened.
Oh, yes. I should probably explain this. As I'm doing so, though, like Yukari sort of instinctively moves the stick and looks around. The way that you do in a I guess third person or first person game.
This would be third person if you were actually looking at the screen. At the moment, it's first person.
Okay. Yeah. So
and Yukari's physical movements are in line with her moving the joystick?
She's more moving
Is that
naturally.
What you
yeah. She's moving naturally, but there's the fiddling with the joystick thing too. It's kind of really muddled together.
But being as she's a habitual gamer, it's sort of the moving. It's
kind of like when you play those racing games, and when you turn the joystick, you tend to lean with it.
Yeah, yeah, and also of course the fact that like the moving the controls would be pretty much instinctual for her. So yeah, part of her brain recognizes
to put some.
Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
So, to clarify a few things. So Yukari is dressed as a smith, built of tools, has a little wagon with a bunch of like metals and leather working and stuff like that. Shiori is dressed in full white kimono with red pants, has the pointy hat, and has a bunch of charms up her sleeves. Bryn has
Shiori is in human illusion form?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Bryn has a nice hat.
Green felt hat?
Not
with a
felt,
feather in it?
but
Okay.
yeah, very much like a local archer.
Right. She has a bow
trying to
and
remember
a
the
sword.
term. It starts with an A, and I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Sorry, you're trying to remember what word?
Basically for raw recruit, like the people that get drawn to get Ashigaru.
Uh-huh.
So you're basically dressed as Ashigaru, which means very light armor. You got a bow, got a sword, you know. And Caster, is
like
kind of
no.
kind of dressed as a almost like a wild priestess sort. The kind of shrine maiden who's basically tasked with wandering from place to place, calling on ancestors, performing exorcisms. Usually they're blind. You're not, but you are wearing a blindfold that you can see through just fine.
Neat. Okay.
Bryn draws her sword and performs a few flourishes to practice with it.
That comes naturally.
Balanced weight.
I got the staff with the jingly bits on the top.
That's Buddhist.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could have a staff, but it
Yes.
wouldn't have jiggly bits.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The shakujo. Yeah. Which they're very cool, but yeah.
They're Buddhist.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it, Moroku. Not sponsored.
Yeah. Okay.
So what are we supposed to do here? I haven't played very many video games, and this feels like it belongs in one. What with the moon and all.
Let me think. Well, yes. First I should explain how I got. First, I should explain about the game cartridge, and I will explain about the game cartridge.
No, that'd be too long. Let me sum up.
Yes, which
Please do.
Cursed cartridge, 7 saves, and we're inside it.
Yeah.
And possibly a dead psychic girl.
Yes.
I knew you should have given that cartridge to me.
If you told us what you were gonna do with
it. Yes. You never said what you were going to do with it.
So Yukari,
yes.
One of the buildings down the road has a little yellow arrow just kind of bobbing above it.
You mean it's not an exclamation point?
No.
We're supposed to go there.
Oh, why is that?
Well, you can see the arrow, right?
Oh, yes. Is that what that means? No, well, I can't see the arrow. No, I can't see an arrow.
Can every no, I'm the only one who can see it? Huh. Well, it's a point of interest. So that is likely to be something to do with the plot.
Well, according to the screen, you're party leader, which is why you see it. You can switch party leaders.
Oh, neat. Oh, let's, seeing as we're in a low stakes area right now, I will try that. So yes, switch party leader to Bryn briefly. So that
Bryn, there's a little arrow bouncing up and down above a building.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes,
there we go.
Change party leaders as you hand the Twitch to somebody else.
That's probably that's probably it. Yep.
No.
So would you like me to proceed there, or would you like me to hand the leadership of the party to Shiori?
Yeah, and let's pass it around briefly so that everybody can see what it's like and how to use the controller and all of that.
Very well.
Hey, Caster, when you're a party leader, you have spells.
Oh, hey, look, I have
Oh,
magic.
nice.
Caster's been wanting some magic.
I know.
Mhm.
I figured this is the best way to get the ball rolling.
Magic missile. Nice.
Now, the sword that Bryn has is not a type that she's especially familiar with. She uses illusion to change it to a rapier. Does it work?
If you spend a story point, I'll allow it.
What
Okay.
type of sword was it before?
So normally it would not work. But
Normally it'd be a straight edge sword.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, basically the blade thins down. It sharpens on one side. It's flat on the other. It's got just a
Mhm.
slight curve to it. So it's closer to what you're comfortable with,
Okay.
while still kind of fitting into the period.
All right. So that much, keeping it in the genre for the game does not cost a story point. If I want to take it outside the genre of the game, that would cost a story point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's more like to actually be able to use illusion because your class doesn't cover it, costs a story point.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Speaking
I
of
have
which,
glamour.
what
That
did
is one of
Shiori
my,
notice?
But your character doesn't. The one that you're playing in the
okay.
game.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, what did Shiori notice while she was party leader? Because
Oh.
Caster noticed that Caster had spells. Did Shiori notice anything?
She's got a section that says rituals.
Okay.
And Yukari has craft.
And what does Bryn
Okay.
have?
Guard.
Bard. Okay.
Guard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like you get to pick somebody and you get to guard them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if this is one of those, if this is one of those game, and yes, this would be in character. I'm just wondering if this is one of those games where if there's a combat that comes up, you have to switch between characters to get through the fight. Guess we'll see when that comes up. Is there a tutorial section?
That's a good question.
I will look for one.
No.
Okay. That would be too easy.
You're in the tutorial.
Oh, okay. Intro. It's one of those where the intro is going to serve as the tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All righty. So.
So, since Yukari is currently back to being party leader, can Bryn activate guard on Yukari while Yukari is party leader? Or does Bryn have to be party leader?
That's perfectly fine.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Huh.
Bryn tries to guard Yukari and sees what happens. Nothing.
Nothing
Right?
obvious, though.
Okay.
Yukari kind of sees a little shield symbol.
Nice. I was thinking it's possible also that Bryn's Bryn's character's posture shifts a little bit.
And somebody who's a little bit more genre, so everybody like, I don't remember being hit by a truck.
Yeah. Okay, so proceeding to the interest point.
Okay, so you head there. It is the Village Inn, which is a little bit out of place because, those weren't kind of like this, but whatever. It's a Village Inn. You can go in. The door kind of gives this scream as it opens. And every single door you open will be making that sound.
Mm-hmm. This is not going to get annoying at all. Never.
So going in, you see a few tables. Most of them are empty. You see like about 3 people sitting down at tables, 2 men, women. There is a bartender behind the bar who looks up at you as he's polishing a mug for eternity.
Never does anything else but polish that one mug.
Yeah.
Do any of them have exclamation marks floating over their heads?
No, they don't.
How about
Okay.
arrows?
No, but it looks like you could theoretically approach them.
Okay, yes. So, yeah, sure. I'll approach the bartender first.
Okay. He looks at you. You look like you're new around here.
Yes, we all are.
Do you need a room or food?
What can you tell us about this place?
Well, the village of Yoshiri has fallen upon hard times. Ever since the girl went missing.
Oh, what girl?
Yeah. She was a strange girl. We don't know much about her. Her mother kept her in the house. Nobody even knew she existed until she got out. Some of the local boys, roughed her up. Then something strange happened and she disappeared.
How old was she?
About 16.
I see. Meanwhile, hands flicking through the conversation options. Continue.
Yes, her name, Kuroko.
I see. Kuroko.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
Does it? I'm gonna check the checking the cast of characters.
Oh,
Okay.
I had typed it in bottom, but it's actually at the top. Kuroko, 16 years old, a diviner.
Oh. I
Is that our
see.
Is that our shrine maiden friend who was going to the high school? Oh,
Yeah, that's the name of the Shrine Maiden friend.
Huh. Interesting.
so she's in the game now? Or the game is about?
It could be coincidence, but who knows?
I've seen her recently.
When was the last time we saw her?
Oh, the last time you saw her was when you were doing the big thing to try to wrap up the candles.
And we haven't seen her since.
And she hasn't come to the shrine since.
I feel like that's something we should have known a little bit sooner.
Oh dear.
So wait a second. Who did we buy lunch for last week?
Well, we
yeah.
bought lunch for everybody who was at the shrine when we went.
Yeah, there is more than one Shrine Maiden there.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And yes, that would be a thing. You do know that she is a Shrine Maiden. She has special powers and such. You have seen this in play. And for some strange reason, you did not notice that she has been missing. She has not been attending classes. She has not attended the shrine. Nobody asks about her.
And
we should have
here's that
recognized-
little something
So something is
to
very
do with our
unusual is going
den.
on.
But if we'd recognized something was wrong, of course, then
We would have investigated.
that, yeah.
Yeah. But now, yeah, her name pops up here.
Uh-huh. The fact that,
And so
yeah,
is this just everyone realizing, wait a minute, where's she been? It's been months. Or does it take
Yeah.
longer for us
It
to
kind of
realize?
clicks in. It's like, hey, wait a
Mhm.
second. And it's interesting. She's disappeared, and now you've got this cursed game that has a psychic imprint upon it that deals with a girl, and then whose name inside the game is Kuroko. Not connected at all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, huh?
So, he's waiting for her for the
Yeah.
next question or whatever. Do you need a room?
Okay. Sure.
Okay. He asks for 4 copper, 1 for each of you.
Okay.
How much copper do you have?
Yeah, this is inventory.
You have 150 copper.
Okay, yeah. So easy.
You're expected to also buy gear. Okay, so you hand over the 4 copper. Say that you need a room for the night. It grows suddenly very, very dark. You can't see anything. And now it's daytime.
Okay.
Did you have enough sleep?
Yes.
You feel refreshed.
See, here I was thinking room for the night. That's basically like we have a base of operations, but it's like,
no, you gotta sleep. You get to recover health.
Yeah, that's probably
now
it.
the inn is probably your base of
Shiori
operations.
was doing well what I was doing.
Like,
yeah.
what happened?
Rin kind of at least has a vague idea of what's going on.
Yukari, explain.
Yes.
So we had a restful night, right?
All right, so that would be so food and lodging. Those are things for when we need to for when we're hurt or out of spells or something like that, and we need to get better.
Replenishes hit points. Vest replenishes mana.
Ah, okay, good to know. All right. All right. Oh, and if we're out adventuring and you see any urns, smash them. Trust me.
And barrels, right? Also barrels.
Actually, you search.
Yes,
you don't break.
Search them.
Oh, okay. Well. All right. You're usually
wielding a sword.
Are we supposed to be able to take other people's stuff?
Depends on where it is. I mean some games, if you try to like to pick the pockets of people in the town area, it either won't let you or it'll provoke a fight.
In Nekomon, you could go into strangers' houses, talk with them, and then loot them.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll mention that. I don't think I'll mention that because, well,
we don't have a thief in our party though. Only a ranger.
That's true. Yeah.
Ranger, artificer, priest, mage.
Yeah, I think we should.
A well-rounded party, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay!
We just don't have a thief.
But do we need one? We don't know. All right.
Val, if you're watching, we need a thief.
She'd be the merchant.
Yeah, I think she would be.
Merchants usually have lockpick proficiency.
Sometimes.
Well, they could.
Also get you discounts at the local shops.
Nice.
Instead of 4 copper, the inn will cost us 3. No, it'll still cost us 4 because we have one more person.
Slight tangent.
Yes.
There was a video game that I played a while back. You could have a merchant character in the game. At a certain point, you talk to the NPC, and he says, well, I'm opening up a shop here in this new territory, and I need somebody to help. Are you willing to help me? If you say yes, the merchant leaves your party and opens up a shop there for you. You lose that character.
That kind of sucks, but it's still neat.
Yeah.
I see.
I told my friend that, make a merchant and do this. And, she went through, she leveled up the merchant and stuff. She got to that point, like, yeah, say yes. So she lost the merchant. She kind of looked at me with the glare of death. It's like, I just lost a character. And I'm like, yes, but you have a shop.
Yeah. Win some, lose some.
Yeah, the problem is the better you make that character at like haggling, the higher the prices are when you go to shop there.
What? I don't get the friend discount? No.
We're friends?
Ouch.
I don't remember you.
I was only
well, in the
party
game, when you go
leader
to the
for
shop, he's like,
5
"Hey, remember
years."
me? It's me." Enter a character's name.
Mhm.
I thought that was a really cute touch, though.
That's definitely interesting.
Okay, so
Only game
well-
I've ever seen do something like that.
right. That was yes. I just thought of I'm thinking I'm thinking like, okay, how do we get directions for what to do next? But yes, I just had an idea. So where
You had a name drop.
Yes. Whereabouts did Kuroko vanish?
He doesn't know. That's just it. She disappeared.
Okay.
You might want to ask some of the boys that she ran into.
Ran into.
At this point, the dialogue starts to repeat.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. I was gonna say depends on how much work they put into the dialogue trees. Yeah.
There
do you
are
need any
other
fruit?
people in this room who might know more.
Yes. So okay.
Oh, the people in the room has changed.
Huh.
Yes, because it's
One
morning.
of the guys is missing.
Oh.
What's missing?
One of the
guys.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So there's a guy, the other guy and the girl are here, but the first guy is missing.
Well, yep. So yes. So yes. Yukari turns to everybody else and she says, and one rule: talk to everybody you can on every occasion you can. If I'd known it was going to switch to day and to the next day, and that the people were going to vanish, I might have done something different. But so
Shiori just gives her a long, considering look, walks over to the table, and says to the first person she encounters, "Where did your friend go?"
Don't respond.
You're not the party leader.
You're not the party leader.
Oh. Oh.
She then gives Yukari a very weird look.
All right.
And waves her hand in front of their faces.
Oh, you guys can actually talk to them.
Oh, good.
Okay.
The game offers apparently some leeway.
Oh, good. Okay.
So, are you talking to the guy or the girl?
I'll talk to the guy, and my question was, where did your friend go?
My friend?
The one who was here last night.
Oh, he's probably in the fields.
Interesting.
She looks back at Yukari and then says, "Do
Huh.
you know where Kuroko was when she disappeared?"
He kind of sits up a little bit and says, "I know nothing."
What's
Does Shiori believe him? Is he convinced?
Those are not the words of a person who actually knows nothing. Those are the words of a person who knows something and doesn't want to talk.
Yukari notices that she can't access him for conversation at the moment.
You can't cut into another person's conversation.
no?
No, he shut down on the conversation.
Huh. If you ask him too many direct questions, he disengages. I see.
Ask him the wrong question, he disengages.
Okay.
Shiori can still talk to him, however.
Interesting.
And Shiori's like,
Because Shiori doesn't play video games.
I think that the reason she couldn't talk to him was her ban. Still in effect.
That too.
Does it count?
Yeah, I was just thinking like these aren't
She walked
real.
up and talked to the barkeep.
Yeah,
That's
I was
true.
just thinking these aren't real people. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with a little bit of perception, Shiori does notice that she can ask about the woman sitting at the other table.
Okay.
Mm.
Shiori will do that then.
Okay.
Conversation
woman
menu
at
options.
Exactly. No, that's the only one I have left, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, that's the girl's mother.
Mhm.
You've run out of conversation options.
And if Shiori is able to sense that conversation option mechanic, she's gonna walk back to where Yukari is.
Mhm. You can kind of pick
Okay.
up on it.
All right.
Y'all have a little bit of genre savvy built in.
It is a very bizarre experience for Shiori to have this genre savvy just downloaded into her brain.
Yeah, I can imagine because
Just wait till
previously,
you hit menu. The classic beep. Wait a minute, I have a character sheet.
yeah.
It's a scroll. Pull it out.
Boop, wait, I have an inventory. Boop, there's something in my inventory. Where'd this scroll come from?
Yeah. Or the oh, there was an yeah, the whole thing of, oh, there was an option for this all along and I didn't know it. Yeah.
So
Run
now
into
Shiori's
that.
kind of looking back over at him and is like, so how does this conversation thing work? 'Cause that wasn't normal.
No,
How did I
no.
know that he just didn't have anything else to say?
Well, that it's like the way they write conversation options. It's sort of like a tree, and you just happen to come to the you took a few different branches, and then you came to the end of a twig. Does that make any sense?
Does that mean if you talked to him, you could go down a different branch?
Yeah. Looking at the options for myself. Nope, doesn't look like it. Looks like it works this way for the entire party.
So while you guys were doing this, Bryn and Caster notices the background music is looping. I mean, it's pleasant enough, but it's repetitive.
Mhm.
And for me, this is just so normal. I probably don't even notice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Should
All
we
right.
talk to her now then?
Yes. Yes, I think we should.
What spells did Caster have?
Oh, let's see. You have blind, mute, deafen, confuse. Basically, you do status effects.
Blind, mute, deafen.
Confuse.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So
Shiori should probably figure out what the heck these rituals are.
Shell, protect,
Mhm.
cure.
Does she have any attack spells at all?
Apparently, neither of us do.
Okay. Well, I mean,
outside of my characters, outside of the video game characters' abilities, Shiori also can just set things on fire if she needs to. She's got illusion. She will enforce her ability to use fire on this illusion if she needs to.
I'm spending a story point. Hadouken!
I'm pretty sure a sword will work regardless.
Changes to show the village in the background with like smoke curling off of it as all the buildings are on fire.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I will go over to the NPC who has been pointed out as Kuroko's mother. I think as a conversation opener, I'll go with, "I am sorry to hear about your daughter."
Okay. So she actually has a name over her. It's white, and it says Yoko.
Okay. So, yep. Yeah, so yes. At the Oh, I see. And now is that possibly because to denote that she's more friendly?
She's neutral. That's why it's white.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
The other guy didn't even have a name.
Hmm.
NPC number 3. No.
Less important NPC. Okay.
Yes.
Villager.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically villager.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
she-
Yep.
So you now have her attention. She says,
Mhm.
"Do you know where she went?"
Shiori. Oh no, Shiori can't speak at the moment.
No.
She can,
We
just not to
were
this person.
we were
Actually, Shiori will
hoping.
say to Yukari, Shiori will say at Yukari, and if the woman overhears and reacts, that's fine. We should
Mhm.
go looking for her. And then if the woman doesn't react, Yukari can just repeat it or something.
Yeah.
I don't have much money, but if you were to, give me any indication of what's happened to her, I'm willing to pay. Quest added.
Excellent. There we go. Now we get quest arrows. Yes.
I didn't say anything about an arrow.
Damn it. Not that easy, eh? Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, is there a compass with a with an arrow on the edge of the compass anywhere? We could maybe get one.
You saw a compass when you were party leader.
Oh, it's something your character type has. Neat. Okay. Yeah. Could also be that there's one of those Diablo-esque kind of things with a map that gets filled out the more you travel, but we'll see. Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
yeah.
Bryn does mention that to Yukari on the side.
Noting that for future reference.
I have a compass and you don't.
Yeah, because of course the soldier type, the ranger / soldier type would have that. The artificer not so much. Yeah. Okay.
Just be a feature of the party leader.
Yeah, but Yukari, you have guns.
Ooh.
Troy's like, what?
Yeah.
Black powder.
Yep.
Don't expect them to reload quickly, but
Gaijin black
they might.
powder.
Who knows? This is video game logic.
Also entirely possible that I could, I don't know if I could make weapons for the other party members. I'll have to see about that in the future.
No, but if they get components, you can add it to their armor and weapons to enhance them.
I can buff their stuff. Okay, good to know.
It takes time, but you can.
Okay, all right. It takes time. Probably have to be in the right, possibly have to be in the right location. We'll have to see.
No. You don't. You put it together and you just leave it in the background, and the timer goes off, and you just do your thing. You just can't do any other buffing while you're doing that.
Because I'm busy doing the hammer emote.
You're doing the upgrade in the background. Yeah.
Oh no, you don't even do the hammer emote. It's just there's a little countdown.
As you level up, you'll get access to more advancement slots. So you can
Plus be able to speed that up even.
Yeah, that would make sense actually.
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, you're all listed as level 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Level 2, not level 1.
Wait. Where we are we
We're at our second tails.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like, yeah, we went up a tail. Because of course
you
we
noticed.
Okay. All right. So yes, yes, back to the conversation, of course. We were hoping that you might be able to give us some clues as to her last whereabouts.
I was in the market when she got out of the house. I've told her that it's not safe out there. And then when I came back, I noticed the door was open and she was gone. You might want to talk to the boys.
Where would they be?
One's in the infirmary.
I see. One further question. Why did you keep your daughter secluded at home?
She's always been unusual.
You feared for her safety.
She's always been unusual.
How so?
She's always been unusual.
All right.
Into the dialogue tree.
Yeah. Thank you. We
Kid,
shall
I'd
go
like
to
solve
the.
the puzzle. I'm kidding.
Come back to me if you learn anything.
Yeah, and that would be the end of that. All right. Thank you.
I'll give you all a story point.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. We would
I
have
fully
started.
expect Shiori to spend that story point to light something on fire later.
Oh, by the way, if I mention any abilities, you might want to note them down because they're assets you have access to.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, gun is one of Yukari's assets.
Yep.
And specifically, pistol and rifle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also
you
repair.
Oh.
Also repair and also enhance.
Okay. Let's see here.
These
and
are
you said
conditions.
Shiori had shell,
Protect.
cure.
Yeah. Shell, cure, protect.
Are these conditions?
They basically replace your powers. You can pull in your powers by spending a story point.
Okay, so just kind of add them to the bottom of the ability list.
Yeah, for the moment, yes.
So, oh, geez, that was not what I was trying to do.
Bryn has guard, stance, and riposte.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and shoot, of course, yeah. Aim, actually, is what it's called. So yeah,
Riposte.
guard, aim, stance, and riposte.
Okay, let's see. Just trying to think where I should put this info.
Okay.
Just at the bottom of your character sheet.
Yeah.
And she has a compass as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Compass is a passive ability.
Right.
Okay.
What's the difference between guard and protect?
Protect creates a force field around each of the characters to reduce damage. Guard, if somebody tries to attack the person you're guarding, you jump in the way and take the hit. If you also have riposte active, you also hit the person back.
And what does stance do?
That has a sub menu. You don't have any stances yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm putting the note in game. Gun, rifle, repair, upgrade.
Yeah, pistol, rifle, repair, upgrade.
Okay, pistol. Okay, yes.
Also, what the heck is shell?
Shell deflects magic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Okay.
So shell reduces magic damage, protect reduces physical damage, and cure is healing.
Oh yeah, the one that you have grayed out at the moment is exorcise.
I see.
Is it misspelled?
No.
No, you just don't have that ability unlocked yet.
Yeah.
There's nothing to use it on.
Bingo.
Oh. No ghosts are present, or spirits, whatever. I see. Okay.
Yeah, basically, she can nuke undead.
Excellent.
Of course she can.
Yes.
I was wondering, did you want to do to this game what you do to all the other games that you play, and what did you call it? Modded? Perhaps you can add a mod to the game that allows us all to be the party leader at once.
And where are you going on the web to download this?
Well, I figured she does it herself by talking to the game.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Can you talk to the game from inside the game?
I'll see.
You can try it and find out.
Yeah, I was going to say only one way to find out. So, hello, game.
So, you hear an echoing voice from the heavens. Hello.
Do you allow? Are you able to do mods?
Oh, yes.
Mm.
Which one do you want?
What ones are available?
Oh, yeah, yes. What
And what do
mods
they
are?
cost?
Yes, what mods are available?
Let's see. There's infinite coin.
Mhm.
That's a cheat.
Unlock all the special items.
Mhm.
There's one hit kill. There's impervious.
Mhm.
Those are all the cheats, though.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes.
What about what about one for enabling everybody to be simultaneously party leader?
That would take 1,500 coin.
Ah, I see.
So Shiori's like, so if we
You
get
could talk to the
the
god for
infinite-
upgrades.
Mm.
So if we get the infinite coin mod, could we then get the party thing?
Oh yeah, then you could pretty much buy everything.
Mm.
But the question is, what does it cost us to activate the cheats?
Yeah, that's one of the things I was wondering.
We just don't get achievements, right?
Mm.
A little bit more than that.
Does it cost us a save?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Mm.
So,
If you don't want to cost it a save, you take a ban.
Oh, I see.
I can never
Interesting.
remember the Miko's name. What's her name again? Kyoko?
Kuroko?
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 Mhm.
So, when Kuroko played the game, she got to her 7th save, didn't she? So,
Oh.
the person who took her, we just spoke to her. No.
That was the spirit of that was the spirit of the game cartridge itself. We've talked before.
No, I mean the woman in the inn who was supposedly her mother who locked her up.
So, is Yoko actually her mother? Like in the real world? Okay.
Yoko is a character in the game.
Okay.
Mm.
Yoko is not anything more than a character in the game.
Correct.
Yeah, I was just thinking if
I mean,
if
she has a real mother, but it doesn't have to be the same name.
yeah, I was just thinking if we had just seen an actual ghost, Castor and Shiori would probably have detected that.
I might not now.
Require being party leader.
Oh. Mm.
You should see what happens when Shiori is party leader.
So, my
Yeah.
Well,
suggestion-
all we have to do is get 1,500 gold.
Well, or I mean, we haven't left the inn yet. Could switch to make Shiori party leader.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. She has a variant of the compass. It points out spiritual hotspots
Oh, neat.
like undead or temple
Oh,
or graveyard.
cool.
Okay, you may well write that down too.
Mm.
Spirit compass.
Okay,
Mhm.
and Castor might have a compass for
Mm.
magical things.
detect magic through my blindfold.
So, do you want to switch to Castor to see if that happens?
Sure, but also did Shiori spot any ghosts in the inn?
In the inn, no.
Okay.
But the temple and the graveyard both did show up on the map.
Nice. Okay.
And there's a few green dots on the map too.
Oh, suddenly we're seeing a map. Okay.
No, Shiori is.
Ah, okay. She's got a map. All right.
She's got a compass, and the compass basically is the immediate vicinity, a couple of the buildings. Friendly people are green.
Artificers
Okay.
do not get a map. Okay.
Okay.
Artificers
Shiori
are broken.
You get guns. You don't get any of the other stuff. Yeah.
Now, if you put Castor up,
Yeah. Might as well.
Shiori
See.
has to do that because she's party leader.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
True.
okay, so Castor has a compass. Also, Castor through the blindfold can see secret doors. The inn has a secret door.
Ooh.
A few of the buildings on the compass, which are basically black blocks from where you are, have little like white markings here or there.
I see a door.
Neat.
I see a little silhouette of a door.
You found a secret door.
Not a window, not a window.
Not a window, but a door.
I will go over and check the door.
Okay, so it's a section of wall.
Does it have 1,500 coins behind it?
No. But when you go to activate, it says you don't have the key.
I will pass the leadership to Bryn.
Okay. Bryn checks her compass to see what things it shows.
Okay. So, you have basically a map of the area. This does not show up on your compass, however.
The
The secret door, you mean?
Right.
Right. So does anything show up on her compass that's not magical or...
You do have an arrow pointing off to one side on the compass.
Okay. I ask whoever we're next to, is the infirmary that way?
Yes.
Pointing in. Yes.
The temple, in fact.
Okay.
So is somebody going to put Yukari in charge?
Didn't we already have her in charge just a moment ago?
Well, yeah, this is before though you saw the secret door.
Okay. Sure. Yes. Yukari,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay.
So you're saying in front of a secret door because Castor discovered it. You have the option of picking the lock.
Okay. So apparently I've got the thief's tools. So yes, I shall pick the lock.
Okay. This is going to be a challenge off of skill.
Okay.
Difficulty 9.
Okay.
Can I give her good luck?
Using?
Fox luck.
Spend a story point, sure.
I could if I spent a story point. Okay.
Yes, all of our fox magic abilities are locked away behind story points.
Yeah, you can basically break the game to use a power.
I see. Okay.
Remember.
So, for instance, use illusion to create the key.
Yeah, or the Kikai no Kokoro to say door open up, but
yeah, you could do that. You could spend a story point and just have the door open.
Yeah, but
Might I recommend using your illusion magic to create a skeleton key instead. Not just a key for this door, but a key that will open any door.
So with her ability to speak right now, she can only speak to the game without spending a story point. Right. Okay.
Okay, I see.
Because the game is responding in game as a character.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Yes,
like the narrator or whatever.
Yeah.
It just says
the goddess.
The voice that says the next day.
I thought no. Kami-sama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So, remind me again how I do a skill challenge. I part
Skill
of that
is
whole...
your boon, right?
Yes.
You get 2 dice for free.
Okay. So let's see. 2d12.
You want to spend any points? Nope.
I thought
Because it's third class
Shaco's
ability.
spoon was cunning.
Yeah, oh sorry. The strength yes, Shaco's strength is cunning. You're right. Okay, so it's only
it's only 1 die then.
Yeah, I have 4 in my skill as a trait.
you want to spend any of it?
Yeah, sure. I'll wager 1. What the hell? Okay, so now let's
Now,
see. So
Are you
opportunities help.
spending or wagering?
Spending.
okay,
It
spending.
doesn't actually
Okay.
go away if she succeeds.
Okay, all right. Okay, so
Do opportunities assist with this?
If she has the appropriate opportunity, yes.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, the none of the opportunities. I think.
You can activate your lock picking to get a +2.
Oh, I see.
But then it grays out
And I can't use it again for I don't know how long.
until you spend a story point or until you rest.
Okay, good to know. Okay.
Resting is counted as a change of scenery.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know when
If you
I might
went to another
next need
location, it might
this.
change too. It might come back.
Yeah. Well, possibly. We'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, so I am. So let's see. What am I rolling here?
You're rolling 2 dice.
Okay.
You need 9 or better.
Unless you use your lock picking thing.
In which case, you're rolling 4 dice and need a 9 or better.
Yeah, sure. I'll. What the hell? I might as well use it. So.
Do you want to?
Yep.
Do you want to risk the point of skill, or do you want to roll 3 dice?
I'll go with just. I'll go with just rolling the 3 dice. So I'll just
Okay.
put that. I'll just put that back where it was. Okay. I mean, hey, I have it on my sheet. I may as well use it. Works. This is one of the things we're doing is seeing how stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 d12. D12. Okay. Okay. Hey. 10 to 10 total 22. No, we're not going by totals though, right?
No, you just need the highest number.
Excellent. So, yep.
Okay, so yes, you succeed in picking the lock. The door opens. You can't see what's on the other side because it's a different room.
Would you like to enter? Question mark?
No, it's not even that. It's black.
Yeah. Let me guess. None of the NPCs in the inn take any notice of what we were doing.
Are there any barrels or urns in the inn room before we go?
There are 2 barrels.
Would you like to look in the barrels before we go through the secret door?
Sure. I'll try looking in the barrels.
Roll a d12 for me.
Okay. Oh,
Then activate.
See what happens, eh? 1d12. That was a 10.
Okay. There's 10 copper in one of the barrels. The other one has a healing potion.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So, yep. Grabbing both of those things.
They're automatically in your inventory.
Ah, okay.
Somebody should write it down, though.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I need just a moment. I will be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a communal party inventory, or is it just each individual person's inventory?
It is a communal party inventory.
Oh, good. Okay. So
I'm gonna put the inventory in with the cast of characters then, so we can keep track of it.
Thank
If you ask Kami-sama and you spend 500 gold, you can double your inventory slots.
How many inventory slots do we have?
20.
Does that cost a save?
No.
No, it's only 500.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
500
how
much
coin.
total
You're
copper do
actually
we
buying
have?
it.
We have 156.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and 1 healing potion. Okay.
Anything else? No other starting inventory? All right.
Okay. All righty. So, yeah, and through the door.
Okay. Let's wait until Castor gets back because I think he'll be amused as well.
Okay. I will take the opportunity to...
Yeah, we'll take a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, oh, everybody's gone. I'm all by myself. So, if anybody's in the chat, they can ask me questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. No questions come to mind? Okay. So one of the fun things about the story point system and Fox Magic in this case in general is that we can play with any genre we want. So, the first one was ghost stories. This adventures, as the players might notice, has a running theme related to video games.
I've noticed.
I kind of figured you would. Yeah. I'm looking forward to what happens when you guys go through the door.
I'm going to recommend we go out and level up before we go through the door.
No, it's not that bad.
Okay.
This is the tutorial still.
Yes, but there's always that section in the tutorial that's like end game level stuff too. You come back.
This is what happens when you die. No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. Yeah, if you guys did activate one of the cheat modes, the penalty is you have 1 hit point.
I mean, we don't have that many to begin with.
You have about 4 or 5. Hello.
Well, another thing too is one of the other cheats was invulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 1 hit point. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but in that case, you don't get XP.
Now we're splitting hairs.
It might mean that we don't gain credit towards our next tale if we finish this adventure having activated invulnerability. Because we've removed all risk from the adventure.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we have to level our in-game characters, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, which kind of implies invulnerability is not the best thing to pick.
Yeah. And I mentioned that with one of the other cheats, what happens is you drop to 1 hit point.
No.
It's like, yeah, you get this thing. If you get hit, you fall over. Has anybody ever played the original Warcraft? Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
No.
Remember what happened with Corwin of Amber?
Corwin of Amber. Yeah. Oh wait, Corwin of Amber. No, I'm thinking a different story.
If you typed in Corwin of Amber, it unlocked the cheat menu. If you typed in then there can be only one, all opponents dropped in 1 hit.
Okay.
They had a few other ones, but that was the fun one.
Okay. I did not play with cheats on in World of Warcraft.
It actually broadcasts when you activated Corwin of Amber. It says cheats enabled, you wascally wabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm old.
Well, I know who Corwin of Amber was, having read that series a long time ago, but
I think we have the entire omnibus behind me.
Yeah, I don't own it. I just read it from the library. That's grade at high school, I think it was.
Yeah, somebody not too long ago started writing the prequels, got 2 of them done. The thing is, I like the prequels. Some people called it fan fiction, but it kind of fit with you can see aspects of that were kind of in the RPG, but not directly. And you can see some of the stuff that shows up in the later books and how they are interconnected. And I really like how they dealt with it. For example, Trump artistry was something that you had to train your mind for, but it came with its own benefits. The walking the Logris, none of Dworkin's kids could do it.
Right, because they were pattern, of course.
Pattern wasn't made yet. They had basically a kind of a sickness which prevented them from walking the Logris. So, Dworkin drew a pattern. Storms were starting to happen on the edges of chaos, and the Chaosians were like, "What's going on?" And he brought them to the pattern, and they were able to navigate the pattern, which gave them something else. The pattern is effectively a stabilized Logris. Yeah, so there was some very interesting stuff that he was doing there. They talked about the foundation of Castle Lambert, the initial negotiations with the Golden Circle. There's a whole bunch in there. Dworkin's kids could not shapeshift except for Oberon, because Oberon worked hard at it. And one of the things that's mentioned in there is when he gets injured, yeah, he can use his shapeshifting to cover it up. He can still feel the injury. It's just a cover. So there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff that goes through it. And I really wanted to see where book number 3 would have taken it. But yeah, there was something that came up. I think it was like a change of ownership, or the company that the author was working for went under, or something like that, which basically killed the project.
Was the author in any way related to Zelazny's estate, or?
Nope, but he had been given permission to basically expand on the lore.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was cool. I enjoyed it. Other people not so much, but I mean, you like what you like. And now we're just waiting for Kat. Yeah, there she goes. She'll be back on soon. So, do any of you guys have any questions about anything?
In game or out of game?
Out of game.
I think so far there were no. Yeah, I think that so far it's been pretty clear what's going on. Well, after a lot of elaboration, now it's fairly clear. It did take a while for us to figure out what was going on in a more general sense, but yeah.
Are you having fun with this?
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
Interesting.
Good.
Jinx.
Good.
I like it.
Yeah.
We have yet to see how this ties into the other things that we have on our plates, but perhaps we'll find out.
Well, I mean, if you look at a certain thing in the Animori Inari Shrine document about our den,
So,
a
okay.
certain negative trait.
Yeah. Okay, now that's Kat is
Oh
back.
yeah, yes, the Hellmouth, as it were. Not exactly Hellmouth. Gate to
Hori
Yomi.
gate to Yomi.
Yeah. All right. So, getting back to this, you guys are going into the next room.
Yep.
So, you hear, everything goes black. There's the faint sound of footsteps, and then everything comes back. There is a shop.
It's the secret shop.
Dangerous to go alone. Take this stick.
So,
is it run by a demi-human of some kind?
Yes, actually, it is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a cat person.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you see the cat person, and he's saying, "Meow, would you like to see my wares?" Yeah.
It's Temmie.
So, what you see is some basic armor, basic weapons, a few potions, things like that. There's mana potions and health potions. You can basically get, some extra gear to suit yourselves up with.
So, do we have currently any armor and weapons, or are we just equipped with nothing that happens to look like a sword?
You happen to have on you some very basic armor, a basic sword, and a basic bow.
Okay.
These are listed as normal bow, normal armor, normal sword, normal staff, normal pistol,
so they are,
normal rifle.
If I look at the stats of what I have as compared with the stats of what these things are,
you see a little green arrow pointing upwards.
Now, of course, Yeah, I'm also thinking like if we upgraded everybody's gear, would it be more than we have?
Well, we'd have to find out how much stuff costs relative to how much we have.
Basically, the normal gear, except for the firearms, cost 10 copper. Potions cost 15. You can sell your potion for 5.
Yeah, that's very
And you can
iffy
sell
economics.
and you can sell your basic stuff for 1.
Yeah.
Does Shiori have any offensive or defensive stuff aside from the rituals?
You have a staff.
Okay,
According
but no
to
armor.
no, but you can get normal robes.
Which I'm guessing confer like a little bit of protection or something. Yeah.
Caster can also get normal robes. You can both get normal staff. Caster can get a normal dagger.
Is there are there any spell scrolls?
Yes, there are.
And ritual scrolls?
Yes, there are.
Excellent.
Yeah. So normal scrolls are things like fire, ice, wind, lightning. The rituals are things like fireball, lightning ball, cold ball, wind ball, which, area effect stuff. Just has a little bit of a longer casting time.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And caster sees for 100 copper hex.
And are these scrolls things that add to your ability, or are they single-use items?
That would give a new ability. For Shiori, has summon.
Cool. All right.
So summon would allow me to make those area of effect spells.
No. The area effect scrolls will give you the area effect spells. Summon will allow you to later on get summons.
Okay.
Yeah, and caster.
But the scrolls are
the normal scrolls are 15, and the big one, hex and summon, are 100.
Okay.
But the scrolls are multiple use or single use.
Well, no. When you buy the scroll, you have the spell.
Okay.
You learn. It's a spell. Scroll to learn a spell.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
And does Bryn get an access to any things that allow her to learn new stances and maneuvers?
Yes, that would be a separate location, and that would be stances. You see a list of stances like focus, quick strike, bleeding strike.
Yeah, I was thinking fighters might have to fighter types might have to go to a dojo. Artificers might have to go to a
depends on whether there's
forge
training
or something.
manuals.
Like yeah.
And Yukari can get bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stances, by the way, cost 50 each. Bomb is a new category, so it costs 100.
Okay.
And then you can start
the stances are 15, 1-5.
Stances are 5-0.
A 5-0, okay.
Yeah.
Might I make a recommendation based on JRPG logic? Instead of giving both Shiori and myself the elements just in different styles, you should make the mage an elementalist, and the priest should get light and dark spells. So,
I already have Foxfire, so I already have fire and lightning anyway. I just need to spend a story point on it.
Okay.
Hint, there's no light or dark spells here. You need to get to the temple.
Okay. I see. So, yeah. My what I was gonna say was like, so obviously we don't want to spend too much time with the exciting resource management.
You don't have enough copper to do the exciting resource management. You're going to have to be very picky about what you get.
Yeah.
And another thing to note as well is that a lot of the time you can find basic gear inside things like barrels. So we don't necessarily need to spend a lot here at this point. And we do want to save up for that 1,500. Everybody's a party leader.
That should be a priority.
Yeah.
That's that Shiori would be interested in right now is just upgrading her armor, because if she needs to kill something, she can spend a story point and light it on fire.
Yeah, so yes, do we have enough to like upgrade everybody's armor?
Yeah, that's 10 each.
Okay, cool. Okay. And then let's see, upgrading Bryn's weapons.
10 for the bow, 10 for the sword.
That sounds reasonable. And let's see.
Bryn can equip 2 swords.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that instead of the bow upgrade.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. I would have thought she would want to go with the bow because of the Robin Hood thing, but
But Bryn is more of a swords person. She likes bows well enough, but she's more comfortable with the sword.
Okay, so to explain things.
Okay.
Armor, shields, weapons, gear. These basically allow you to burn them for an effect. For example, if you get hit for damage, you can use like a shield to negate the hit. You can use armor to negate the hit, but it's like once per scene. If you want to use it again, it's going to cost a story point.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Or you could just, use one of your real abilities for that story point, which is probably going to be more effective anyway.
Yeah, but when you get better armor, it's going to be like 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits.
I see. It doesn't like use up the armor though, right? It's not ablative. Okay.
You know how you have the repair skill?
There we go. Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've spent 40 on armor, and we've spent 20 on 2 swords for Bryn.
So far.
Yeah, and then traded in.
Castor and Shiori could both take a staff.
I would rather.
Shiori doesn't need a staff.
Okay.
Okay.
I would rather a spell.
We had 156. So 96 should be correct right now.
If I remember correctly, I said it's 15 for a scroll.
Yes.
I believe I would like either lightning or wind. But I'll leave that up to the
Since I
party.
can already do lightning, I would recommend you get wind.
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah.
Okay. So
that'll put us to 81.
Yes.
What wind does is if you're in an encounter and you cast wind, you get to make it's a challenge. If you succeed, you blow the enemy off the fight.
Oh. I was thinking it was something like wind blade or something like that.
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? Bryn will just take 1 sword in that case, because it sounds like it would be better for us to have a spell instead of the second sword.
Yeah, not over specializing with one character too much. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. So yes, probably at this point the best thing to do would be moving on to the shrine/infirmary.
Before we go, I'd like to spend a story point to make the shop upgrade what it carries using Castor's lucky coins, and then scatter a bunch of lucky coins throughout the game so that we find them and bring them back to the shop and upgrade it. And he offers new stuff.
That's neat. That's a neat
totally
idea.
cool with this. So you
Sounds
find a lucky
fun.
coin, you bring it back, the shop upgrades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I would not have thought of that.
Yeah. I'd give you a story point for that, but you just spent 1, so.
Yeah.
If you gave me one, I would immediately spend it to have a lucky coin and give it to him. I was like, here you go.
Yeah.
So is he a good-looking cat person?
Sure.
Caster will
Is
run.
Are there
Caster jealous?
barrels in here?
No,
No.
Caster's not. Caster's not
It's funny.
jealous.
It's funny because I was picturing a sort of cartoonishly tubby kind of cat person. But
Oh, no. This is the opening room. This would be one of those Svelte cat boys.
Mm.
eye candy.
Yes.
You guys go ahead. I'm going to negotiate with the shopkeeper.
Are we able to split the party? That's a question.
Probably not.
Uh,
Does somebody want to go through the doorway and find out?
uh, yeah.
Shiori
So
will
sure.
walk up to the doorway and put her hand to the doorway to see if there's an invisible wall.
Not as such, no.
It's one of those scenes where there's like a like everybody leaves except Caster. There's like a moment of like the two little hearts pop up above their heads, and then it switches to the scene where the three are coming out the door, and like Caster sure is taking a long time, and then suddenly Caster comes back through. It's like a 10% discount next time we're there.
So in that game I mentioned where you lose the merchant, you can have your if you have a male character, you can go off to talk with this one girl. She goes to show you a movie. It looks like it's going to get naughty, except that her dad's under the table and kind of spoils the moment. It's a running gag apparently with that company and their JRPGs.
Nice.
Under the table. That's
Yes,
That's
yes.
creepy.
Well,
Yes.
it's because he's the like she's using a crystal ball type thing. He's doing the stuff under the table for the crystal ball.
Oh.
So when you come out, if there's a girl in the second slot for the party, when you step out, she goes, "I don't want to hear it."
And what do they say? What do they say if it's a male character in the second slot of the party?
I don't remember because I didn't do that.
Go you.
I had the jester in party number 2, and if it's a male jester, it looks like kind of like a clown outfit. If it's a female jester, it's a bunny suit.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I think you told me about that
Link
that
in Discord, please.
game a long time ago. Right.
Oh, I've got a sleepy puppy.
Oh,
She's
cute.
snoring.
so we can probably pause here, and hopefully Val will make a next session.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We don't want her to miss too much.
Yes.
What's it gonna look like on the outside? Are we just all standing around this game?
Well, I was
something like
We
that.
haven't been sucked into the machine.
This is true.
I was thinking either that or she enters the courtyard and all of a sudden is like, what's going on? Like, yeah. Does everything look different?
To kind of describe the circumstances, you're kind of on the edge of Yumedo, the realm of dreams.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
I
Yomi.
thought it was a Torii Gate to Yomi.
Oh yeah, the Torii Gate's
Yeah.
to Yomi. This is the Torii Gate doing this to you.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Is this a back door then?
Sort of a backdoor, yes. That's a
This is
Hopefully
Yukari
we-
doing this to us by finding something she could not resist picking up.
Yeah. My bad.
Oh no, come on. This is good. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't really want to stop.
Shiori will have a newfound respect for all of Yukari's esoteric knowledge. This is as hard to keep track of as all the different kinds of yurei.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Isekai. But not isekai. You didn't have to die for this.
Yeah.
Hey, some isekai you don't die. Some you just transfer worlds.
Yeah, you get
Well-
And
some.
sometimes it's just a portal opens up under her feet.
Yes. But
Luckily,
unlike
at
most
some point we'll be
isekai, the NPCs have a little bit more limitations.
Yeah.
That's okay. The one isekai I was watching recently, the guy is summoned just before he's hit by the truck. He's not actually hit by the truck.
Yes,
And
yes.
then the wizard who summoned him is like, "Yes, I can send you back, but then you'll be hit by the truck."
Yes.
Because you'll go right
I've
back to
been-
where I swear I got you from.
Yeah, the handyman
Mhm.
one. I very much
Mhm.
like that one. It
Oh,
got really weird the last 2 or 3 episodes.
The end of that last episode, man, it just tugged at my heart.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
Is
no.
is the handyman's goal to figure out how to survive getting hit by the truck when he gets home?
Oh,
He
no.
decides
He
not to
doesn't
go
want to
back.
go home.
Mm.
Yeah. His talents were not appreciated. He had just enough skill to get by and get the job done.
Mm.
But people basically did not appreciate his work. Like, it's like, he'll go over here and, oh yeah, so you've been locked out of the house. Well, I'll pick the lock. It takes me like 2 minutes. This is how much it costs. And she's like, I'm not paying you that much for 2 minutes of work. Things like that. And when
It's like,
it goes,
You pay
Yeah.
that much to be able to go into your house?
yeah.
well,
So what happens
also
is he
it-
talks
yeah,
to his
sorry.
boss about being, paid better. So his boss fires him.
Yeah, oh, you want more
You know, that-
money? Bye. I can find somebody else. to
Yeah,
do your
exactly.
job.
So, and then he almost gets hit by a truck and gets isekai'd. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I was
there, all his talents are very useful because he can do things nobody else knows how to do.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the 2 minutes work. No, you're not paying me for the 2 minutes work. You're paying me for the ability to get that done in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I
At
would've
one point,
locked the door and closed it.
yeah.
You're paying me for my expertise, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, I was locked out of the house. We actually called somebody to come in. We decided not to, and we'd wait until somebody else got home because there was something like $75. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't have $75, so
Yeah.
but now I have a lockpick set.
Nice.
Yep. Of course, it's not something you carry around with you. So
No. I
yeah.
want to get more of those lockpicks though, but they're about $100 a lockpick.
Oof.
Yeah, but then I mean, it is made to be adaptable to a bunch of different types of locks.
True. Yeah.
I've
Okay.
considered. I have considered.
All righty. Well,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, we will pause here.
Mhm.
Hopefully Val will be able to make next session.
Yes. Very much hope.
Do you remember next week is
Oh
Gabbing
yeah, that's right. We're actually skipping next episode to actually basically to chat about geeky stuff, and we will hopefully have some guests. So
We'll have
it'll
to
be
see.
first Thursday of the next month is when we'll have our next session.
Okay.
All right.
See you then, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for being here. I hope you had a good time.
Yep.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Yes. Thank you for
Good
running.
night.